over here in the United Kingdom, you may have heard of this particular story. This is all regarding the debanking crisis. Yes, it affects us all apparently, because when you think about it, I don't know about you, and I know we've often discussed this as chums here on the channel about going into things and the lack of service. Have you noticed now how when you go to the bank there's even less tellers, maybe one or two, and you're supposed to stand in line waiting to find out whether you can draw out some money, what your interest is, could you get a printout? They don't want to do everything. What are those words that they keep chucking at you? You can do this online. You wouldn't be standing there, would you, if you could do certain things online? As I pointed out to this ridiculous guy in a Madonna headset, well, does my computer print out money? Because it's news to me. Standing there looking gormless and then walked off. You know what it's like. I do get infuriated with this, and I'm sure many of you do. But over here, one of the most, well, revered, many people might suggest, Coutts Bank, which is part of the Royal Bank of Scotland, which incorporates also the National Westminster Bank. Well, Coutts is the bank, of course, that the British monarchy bank with. Right now, we have to say, because we could tell you first and as ever, exclusively here on the show, that Coutts, which is in literally dire straits, all thanks to their terrible PR about debanking certain individuals because they don't like their thoughts or rhetoric. Well, Dame Alison Rose was, of course, the person in charge, the very first CEO of the National Westminster RBS Bank. I had a personal contact with her myself after she refused to deal with my own personal complaint. And let me tell you, I'm not in Coutts, just for the record. I'm in the lower bank, but even that, nobody wanted to get in touch with or deal with. Incredible when you think about it on a serious note. But more importantly, what's happening now is this, that the head of Coutts, the only person kind of left after the recent debacle, has had to personally write a letter and offer to go and meet His Majesty the King to align any fears about any problems that the royal purse may have. Wow! Wouldn't it be nice if they gave us all the same service? But according to that very well-placed source, obviously, His Majesty the King, along with other senior members of the British monarchy, like the Princess Royal, and of course the Duke and Duchess of Edinburgh, the Prince and Princess of Wales, all of their basic money is in Coutts Bank. It is supposed to be the bank of money, as one would know. And as we found out recently, it's amazing how many people who you thought weren't that rich actually are able to bank with Coutts. Didn't mean anything, they simply wanted to debank them. Now, if you don't know what debanking means, I'll just explain very quickly. It's basically where they go through people's personal accounts and decide if you're a profile figure and they don't say like your politics or perhaps you're running a company that doesn't align with their wokerattery, then they want to get rid of you. That's the basics of it. It's going to be interesting, isn't it, how the CEO of Coutts positioned himself, either be it in letter or indeed for a face-to-face with His Majesty the King to assure him that they wouldn't be debanked. Could be fun though, couldn't it? Either way, the rest of us though have to suffer the indignation of begging for our money in ill-advised queues and tills that are not manned, and of course forcing us into a cashless society. Truly, what a mess. And as ever, I'd love to know your comments or thoughts in the comments below about your experiences. Have you been debanked? And more importantly, do you live in fear of it? Don't worry, we're in this together. Neil Sean, Kensington, London.